This is only 1/4 of the question. Why Shukdev Goswami is giving such a strong reply? Why is giving such a strong reply that we saw in the second verse? Apashritam atmatattvam graheshu graha medinam. Why he has to speak all this? Yes, Sonika?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The same I was about to tell what a person should do, how to prepare, means what should he hear, how should we prepare before death.
Yeah, what one should hear? Yes, Shrotavyam atho japyam, what he should chant. Yet kartavyam narabhi prabhu, what he should remember, what he should worship, and also what he should not do. Bruhi yadya viparyayam, what he should not do. What one should not be doing, this is also inquired. And this is where Shukdev Goswami has begun to answer, where he talks about those who are in the household life, they should not get too much absorbed or attached, so that they become oblivion of the purpose of human life, which is self-realization. Apashritam atmatattvam. Going further, he becomes even stronger. Nidraya hriyate naktam vyavayena cha vevaya divya charthevya rajan kutumba bharane nava. So those who are Grihamedi, what they should not be doing, what they are doing, he is elaborating. So what such Grihamedis are doing, Nidraya, and Hriyate means to waste. So they are sleeping. When? In the night. And how much they are sleeping? 8 hours, 7 hours, at times 10 hours. And while they are sleeping, what they are doing? Vyavayena chavavaya. They are also indulging in sex life. Just they are vaya. Vaya means to spend. What they are doing? They are spending their life uselessly. And in the day, this is what they do in the night. They sleep and they have sex. And this way they are wasting their lifespan. And during the day is Diva. Nidra is during the night and Diva is during the day. What they do during the day? Cha artheya. Artha. Artha means money. They are working very hard for money, to earn money. And through money, they are trying to have resources for enjoyment. Diva chartheya rajan. And what they will do with this money? Kutumba bharane nava. The lifetime of such envious householders is passed at night, either in sleeping or in sex indulgence, and in the daytime, either in making money or maintaining family members. Very, very strong words. Why? Because they are not attempting for the perfection of human life, which is self-realization. So if one is not attempting for self-realization, what will be the attempt? Attempt will be for sense gratification. And how one does engage in sense gratification? That very vivid description is there in this verse. The present human civilization is primarily based on the principle of sleeping and sex indulgence at night, and earning money in the day and spending the same for family maintenance. Such a form of human civilization is condemned by the Bhagavatas. This is what the modern man does. And he thinks he is very proud of. That he is earning, he is maintaining his family, and in the night he is trying to sleep and enjoy. So this is condemned by the Bhagavata. Because human life is the combination of matter and spirit soul, the whole process of Vedic knowledge is directed at liberating the spirit soul from the contamination of matter. The knowledge concerning this is called Atma Tattva. So those who are trying to liberate the soul from the contamination of matter. So first they need to know the Tattva of Atma. Those men who are too materialistic are unaware of this knowledge and are more inclined to economic development for material enjoyment. This is what the entire world is doing. Such materialistic men are called karmis, or fruitive laborers, and they are allowed regulated economic development and association of women for sex indulgence, artha and kama. Those who are above the karmis, and that is the jnanis, yogis and devotees, are strictly prohibited from sex indulgence. Prabhupada is classifying all the three categories. He is saying jnanis, yogis and devotees. All three. Those who are transcendentalists, at least aspiring to be, are strictly prohibited from sex indulgence. The karmis are more or less devoid of Atma Tattva knowledge, and as such, their life is spent without spiritual profit. What is spiritual profit? Is the knowledge of the Atma Tattva. The human life is not meant for hard labor, for economic development, nor it is meant for sex indulgence like that of the dogs and hogs. It is specially meant for making a solution to the problems of material life and the miseries thereof. So the karmis waste their valuable human life by sleeping and sex indulgence at night, and by laboring hard in the daytime to accumulate wealth. And after doing so, they try to improve the standard of materialistic life. This is very, very dangerous. Everyone is trying to improve the standard of living. And how foolishly men waste the boon of human life is described as follows. Very, very strong words. Why strong words are required? Because if the words are not strong, it will not wake up the persons who are very much entrenched in dreams, desires, and sense gratification. Prabhupada gives an example that if on an elephant you throw a rose, what will be the effect? There will be no effect. You have to approach him with a sharp spear which can penetrate his skin. So household life is, which is devoid of Atma Tattva, where the attempt to liberate the spirit from the clutches of matter, Deha, is not there. Such a household life is verily condemned. And Prabhupada says, how foolishly man wastes the boon of human life is described as follows. Dehapatya kalatradishu atmasanyashu asatsu tesham pramatta nidinam pashyanapi na pashyati. So where they are wasting their life? In deha, in considering themselves to be the body. And those in bodily relation and connection to be their own and their extension. So what is the extension of the body? Child. Apatya is child. And how this body is extending? By the union of wife. It is Kalatra. So Deha, Apatya, Kalatra, Adishu, and so on and so forth. So what they are thinking? That these, my Deha and my Apatya and my Kalatra, they are my soldiers. They will protect me. Atma Shainyashu, they are being considered as those one who will protect me. When death will come, will all of them protect? Why? Because they are asatsu. They are all fallible. How they are asat? They are born and they will also die. So they are asat. So atma sainyashu asatsu api. Tesham pramattha nidhanam. So such person they are too attached, too mad, too intoxicated. And what they do? They go to the path of destruction. Nidhanam. Nidhanam means to die. Such people are Pashyan apina pashyati. Although they have been given eyes to see, but even after having the eyes, they are not able to see because they don't have the vision. Pashyan apina pashyati. Persons devoid of Atma Tattva do not inquire into the problems of life. Why? Being too attached to the fallible soldiers like the body, children, and wife. So this is the disease. This is the biggest disease in this material world. Deha, Patya, Kalatra, Adishu. Although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see their inevitable destruction. What it means that although sufficiently experienced, what it means that although sufficiently experienced, still they do not see their inevitable destruction. What is that sufficient experience? Pradeep, what is the experience? Do we have experience or do we don't have experience? I'm asking you, please quickly respond. Don't waste time.
Material miseries from miseries.
No. Be thoughtful and be on the point. Here the verse is saying that although they have sufficient experience, but still, Pashyan apina pashyat, still they are not able to see. What is that experience that they have? What is that Pashyan apina pashyat? Pashyan api means to be able to see. And na pashyat is still does not see. What is the understanding? Try, you should speak. You are hearing Shastra for so many years. And hope you are studying also. I am asking you, Pradeep. You have not answered. You gave a wrong answer. You are still not hearing. And what to do? Yes, Dayashil Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we see in our life also our relatives are dying, and so we do not think, we know that we are not able to.
Grandmother, so many people in the family have died, so many friends have died, so many neighbors have died, others have died, everyone is dead. After seeing them, everyone dying, still we are thinking that I will not die. Who will protect me? Deha Patya Kalatradishu. This simple thing you cannot pick up, Pradeep. Huh? This experience you don't have. I'm asking you.
So yeah, used to see
Please
somebody.
focus. Please focus. Be present here. You have the book in your hand? Do you have Bhagavatam in your hand? Please reply.
No, Prabhuji.
This is the problem. This is the problem. What do I do? Should I send one Bhagavatam set from here to you? After coming on second canto, after 19 chapters, still this is the situation. This material world is called the world of death. Every living being beginning from Brahma, whose duration of life is some thousands and millions of years, down to the germ, who live for a few seconds only, is struggling for existence. Therefore, this life is a sort of fight with material nature, which imposes death upon all. In the human form of life, a living being is competent enough to come to an understanding of this great struggle for existence. Prabhupada says that in the human form of life, a living being is competent enough to come to an understanding of this great struggle for existence. But being too attached to family members, society, country, etc., he wants to win over the invincible material nature by the aid of bodily strength, deha, children, apatya, wife, and adishu, kalatradishu. Although he is sufficient and previous example of his deceased predecessors, children's relative society members and countrymen are all fallible in the great struggle. One should examine the fact that his father or his father's father has already died, and that he himself is therefore also sure to die. And similarly, his children, who are the future father of their children, will also die in due course. No one will survive in this struggle with material nature. The history of human society definitely proves it. Yet the foolish people still suggest that in the future they will be able to live perpetually with the help of material science. This poor fund of knowledge is exhibited by human society is certainly misleading. And it is all due to ignoring the constitution of the living soul. This material world exists only as a dream due to our attachment to it. Otherwise, the living soul is always different from the material nature. The great ocean of material nature is tossing with the waves of time. And the so-called living conditions are something like foaming bubbles, which appear before us as bodily self, wife, children, society, countrymen. So many times we have seen in the ocean when there are strong waves. So along with the waves, what you see, there are some bubbles. There are these bubbles which are coming from the waves. But how long they will last? Before the next wave comes, they die down. So similarly, these are like foaming bubbles. Who are like foaming bubble? The form of body, self, wife, children, society, countrymen, etc. Due to lack of knowledge of the self, we become victimized by the force of ignorance and thus spoil the valuable energy of human life in a vain search after permanent living conditions which are impossible in this material world. Our so-called friends, relatives, and wives and children are not only fallible, but also bewildered by the outward glamour of material existence. As such, they cannot save us till we think that we are safe within the orbit of family, society, or country. The whole materialistic advancement of human civilization is like the decoration of a dead body. Prabhupada says, the whole materialistic civilization is like the decoration of a dead body. Everyone is a dead body flapping only for a few days. And yet all the energy of human life is being wasted in the decoration of this dead body. Human being after showing the actual position of bewildered human activities. Persons who are devoid and have transcendental knowledge are not bewildered. So this is what one should not do. Okay, any discussion on this before while being in material existence, this is natural position. This is called the conditioned state. How many of you are in the liberated state? Please raise your hand. The symbolic hand. So don't think it is for others. It is for me. It is especially for. But how much serious we are? Very, very few. Very difficult. Very difficult to become serious in this matter. Because who will become serious? Who is actually wanting to liberate the soul. Others are still thinking the world is still there to enjoy. Hare Krishna. Deha patte kalatradishu atma sainyeshu asatsupi tesham pramattha nidhanav. This is the problem. Pramattha. Mad, crazy. One more. I don't see any interest in discussion from anyone. This is there to be left in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is not to be touched upon or discussed upon, what to speak of applied upon. Okay. If that is the decision, then I go ahead. Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishwaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Smartavyascha Ikchatha Abhaya. Tasmad is therefore. So first he said what should not be done. What one should not hear, one should not chant, one should not remember, one should not worship. This is what he said. But now then what should be done? That he is recommending Tasma, therefore, Bharata, O descendant of Bharat, Sarvatma Bhagwan Ishwar O Hari. What one has to do? Shrotavya, one has to hear about him. Kirtitavyascha, one must glorify. And Smartavya. Who will do that? Ikshata Abhyam. Cha Ikshata Abhyam. One who wants to be free. Free from the clutches of birth and death. O descendant of King Bharata, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of Godhead, who is the super soul, the controller, and the savior from all miseries. In the previous verse, Sri Shukdev Goswami has described how the foolish materially attached men are wasting their valuable time in the improvement of material condition of life by sleeping, indulging in sex life, developing economic condition, and maintaining a band of relatives who are to be vanquished in the air of oblivion. That's what the condition life is all about. Being engaged in all these materialistic activities, the living soul entangles himself in the cycle of the law of fruitive action. This entails the chain of birth and death in the 8,400,000 species of life. The aquatics, the vegetables, the reptiles, the birds, the beasts, and the uncivilized man. And then again, the civilized human form, which is the chance for getting out of the cycle of fruitive action. Therefore, if one desires freedom from this vicious cycle, one must cease to act as a karmi or enjoyer of the results of one's own work, good or bad. One should not do anything, either good or bad, on his own account. Very important. Therefore, if one desires freedom from this vicious cycle, then one must cease to act as a karmi or enjoyer of the results of one's own work, bad. Very difficult. Very, very difficult. Not to be the enjoyer of results of one's own work, either good or bad. One should not do anything, either good or bad, on his own account, but must execute everything on behalf of the Supreme Lord, the ultimate proprietor of everything that we. This process of doing work is recommended in the Bhagavad Gita 9.27 also, where instruction is given for working on the Lord's account. What is 9.27? Who remembers? What verse is this? 9.27. Yes, David, bro.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी जत
बोलिए
कर
बोलिए।
अस्ति
Yes, yat karoshi, yat ashnashi, yat juhusi, dasasya, yat tapasyasya kaunteya, kurusva mat arpanam. I did not check, but I think this is the verse. 9.26. 9.26 is Patram Pushpam, and this is the verse. Yeah, this is 9.27. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. So this should be the spirit. This is called karmarpanam. Everything that we do, karma, it is arpit. It is arpit. It is offered to the Lord. Therefore, one should first of all hear about the Lord. Shrotavan. When one has perfectly and scrutinizingly heard, this we get another level of understanding of what means to hear. Prabhupada is saying that when one has perfectly and scrutinizingly heard, so far we knew scrutinizingly study, but here Prabhupada is bringing it to a higher platform. He says that one has perfectly and scrutinizingly heard, one must glorify his acts and deeds. And thus it will become possible to remember constantly the transcendental nature of the Lord. Shravanam. And how Shravanam is to be done? What is the quality of Shravanam? Vanana Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Here, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that scrutinizingly hearing.
No, before that he says something else. This is not scrutinizingly hearing. What did we study few days back? For one who has heard for a very long period of time. Then what will be the position? This is what Prabhupada is speaking in this explanation, his purport. Then his hearing will become perfect. You see what Prabhupada is writing? He's writing first when one has perfected his hearing. Is the word there or not? Read the sentence.
Yes.
You lost track. It's the last paragraph. Too much disturbance, Gaurangi. I am hearing you. I am watching you. Sit down and hear. You did not find, why? Don't waste so much time. Who has found it? Please read. I just read that statement. पढ़िए, at least read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
When one is perfectly and scrutinizingly heard, one must glorify his acts and deeds, and thus it will become possible.
When one has perfectly and scrutinizingly heard. How much time it will require to come to the stage of perfectly and scrutinizingly heard? Even one lifetime is less. Why? Because we are hearing like how? What Prabhupada said in Bhagavad Gita? We are hearing what will not qualify us. What kind of hearing we have? Oh, भूल गए purport.
Prabhuji,
कम से
hawks
कम
and
बार
dogs
पढ़ा है.
also.
हाँ,
Hearing like hawks and
बोलो. हाँ, hearing like hogs. हॉग की तरह सुनने से कुछ नहीं होगा. सुअर की तरह सुनने से कुछ नहीं होगा. क्योंकि सुअर किसमें मस्त है? वो अपनी इंद्रिय तृप्ति में मस्त है. अरे हो बोलने तो यार, बोलने वाले बोलते हैं. इधर से निकल, इधर से इधर निकल गया, इधर से इधर निकल गया, वो अंदर घुसा ही नहीं. इधर से इधर भी नहीं जाता. One must glorify his acts and deeds, and thus it will become possible to remember constantly the transcendental nature of the Lord. Hearing about and glorifying the Lord are identical with the transcendental nature of the Lord. And by so doing, one will be always in the association of the Lord. This brings freedom from all sorts of fear. What brings freedom? Is association of the Lord. The Lord is the super soul Paramatma present in the heart of all living beings. And thus, by the above hearing and glorifying process, the Lord invites the association of all in his creation. See what Prabhupada is, explaining. The Lord invites the association of all in his creation. How? By the above hearing and glorifying process. This process of hearing about and glorifying the Lord is applicable for everyone, whoever he may be. And it will lead one to the ultimate success in everything in which one may be engaged by providence. Success in everything. There are many classes of human beings, the fruitive workers, the empiric philosophers, the mystic yogis, and ultimately the unalloyed devotees. For all of them, one and the same process is applicable for achieving the desired success. Everyone wants to be free from all kinds of fear, and everyone wants the fullest extent of happiness in life. The perfect process for achieving this here and now is recommended in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is uttered by such a great authority as Srila Shukadeva Goswami. All a person's activities, okay, the perfect process for achieving this here and now is recommended in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is uttered by such a great authority as Srila Shukadeva Goswami. All a person's activity becomes molded into spiritual activity by his hearing about and glorifying the Lord. See Prabhupada's words. All a person's activities become molded into spiritual activities by his hearing about and glorifying the Lord. And thus all conceptions of material miseries become completely vanquished. So I'll stop here. Sufficiently he is giving the result of both, of what one should not do and what one should very perfectly and scrutinizingly do. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. From your side, any discussion, any question, query, comment?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. एक मिनट. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, boliye.
Prabhuji,
Hare
by
Krishna.
hearing about and glorifying the Lord, all a person's activities becomes molded into spiritual activities. Normally, Prabhuji, we hear for half an hour or 45 minutes, and we don't daily glorify also to the Lord. Then how our activities become molded into spiritual activity? All our activities.
Prabhupada has already explained in the purport before also now. When one has perfectly and scrutinizingly heard, then that stage will come. If hearing is with distraction, with disinterest, when absorption is somewhere else, so how it will perfect and how it will enter the heart and purify the heart? What it means that the hearing process is so potent that by the process of hearing, one can establish the Lord in one's heart. Shanvatam swakatha krishnam punya shavanam kirtanam hidayantasto hi abhadrani vidunoti suhritam. So first the cleansing process is to be there by the process of hearing. All the dirt has to be removed from the heart. And the heart has to be purified. What does purified heart means? Purified heart means that one accepts one's constitutional position. And Prabhupada gave that explanation that yat karoshi, yat ashnashi, yat juhushi tadashi, yat tapasyasi konteya kurusva tadarpanam. So if one comes to this platform of this thinking, feeling and willing of Krishna as his master, Krishna as his Lord, and Krishna as his object of service, then whatever he does is pure devotional service. What is the problem? But where is that stage of hearing with perfection and scrutinizingly?
Prabhuji, how to cut off this absorption? Because though we are present in the class physically, but our absorption doesn't be in the class properly. I mean,
So we have to pray. We have to really pray. We have to beg Krishna. Please allow. Please allow me to be able to hear. While chanting also, where is the challenge? What is missing? Every day we are spending more than 2 hours for chanting. We have apportioned the time. Physically, at that time, we are not doing anything else also. But why we are not connecting? Why we are not progressing? Because the mind is not participating. So we have to really pray to Krishna. Will you please allow? And we have to make attempt. Attempt has to be honest. Without the mercy, we cannot progress. And when mercy will come, when we will really beg. Why we are not? Because we are thinking that we don't need. There is no need in my life. I am happy. I am satisfied. I am enjoying. Where is the difficulty? Why should I beg? See what it means to hear perfectly and scrutinizingly. Who is the example? We are having a live example. Parikshit Maharaj. What vow did he take? That he will not even drink and eat. He will not allow any other activity or function to happen. Make notes. This is one way of perfecting one's hearing. Make notes, detailed notes. That is, don't allow your mind to drag you anywhere else. Absorb it. To capture, first to hear and then to write. It will be very painful. Why? Because the mind will say, hey, what the hell you are, making my life. Mind wants to float in his own dream world. And you are binding the mind. How? By making him right. And you are beating the mind when you are revising. When you are sharing, writing, scripting, rewriting, you are beating the mind, purifying it. But इतनी तकलीफ कौन दे? पिछले एक महीने में एक भी राइटअप आया किसी का? Anyone? One writer? This is called perfection in hearing. कुछ नहीं जरूरत है लिखने की, सब पता है क्या है, ये तो रोज ही बताते हैं. क्या सुनना है इसमें, क्या इसमें नया क्या है? We have been cheated by our mind. Now you know. Dayashil ji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Will you apply?
Yes, Prabhuji.
This is $1 million question. So in how many days one write-up should come? You tell me.
Prabhuji, whatever the meaning is there, message from our hearing, that I will write Prabhuji daily.
How many days? You give me some commitment. According to your convenience.
Once in a week, Prabhuji, start at the starting. Once in a week.
If you don't write, don't eat that day. Very simple. This means becoming serious. Otherwise, it's non-serious. It's nonsense. They don't eat. Spend one day without eating. You see how easy it will be. If you don't write, don't eat. Still, if you don't write, then don't drink also. What will happen? The life air will live better. Better to die than live this useless life. This is what Shukdev Goswami is condemning. Nidra hyate naktam. Or divacharthena raja. This is what we are doing. In the day we are spent earning. In the night we are trying to enjoy. Spending. To break this cycle. Yes, Sonika?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. My question was from that line only, which you recited last. So, Sudhir Goswami condemned that in daytime we are engaged in earning money and maintaining family. So we are also doing. I'm also doing the same thing, Prabhuji. In
But
morning
the
time.
purpose is not just to enjoy. The purpose is to serve. That motivation should become clearer in the heart. And that should also translate into practice. If clarity is there, we will have conviction. And to the extent we have conviction, it will convert into application. It is already there. It is already there. Application is there. But our application is not perfected. We are still on the preliminary stage. So we must progress. How to progress? By hearing very attentively. So that the understanding is perfected. And the principal Srila Prabhupada said, Yad karoshi, yad ashnashi, yad juhusi, dadasi yad. Of course, we cannot come to the 100% stage, but at least we should make some progress. 5%, 6%, next year should be 7% and 10%. Not just giving money, but also giving our consciousness to Krishna. Kuber is very happy. Huh? In this consciousness letter, where do you think you have reached? We have to apply. If we don't apply, time will be over. So here, write. Very important to write. I said when we will meet, please show me Shloka book. Only one sincere devotee showed me Shloka book. And she was doing it from before. And after speaking also others, Are, kausa banana. No change, no need. One great personality is hearing Bhagavatam without the book. No need of a book. After getting 19 chapters for more than 1 year, this is the situation. It is up to us how much we are accepting. To the extent we are accepting, to the extent that change, that transformation will happen. To the extent we are defying or denying, to that extent, this struggle continues. You are not well? You are okay, Sonika?
Yes, Prabhuji. I'm okay now.
You are where? In your place of residence or still in the workplace?
No, Prabhuji. I just came and was washing hand and all.
Okay, you just came. So you are hearing, you are able to hear in the
Yes,
Huh?
Prabhuji. On the way also I hear.
good. This is called sincerity. Not to miss. Of course, Krishna will reward. So to the extent we try to engage our mind and senses in the subject matter, to that extent, this spiritual subject matter will open, it will reveal. And as we absorb in it, it will all, as the statement said, which the Ashir Prabhu was asking, everything that we do will become spiritual. What is the criteria of an activity being spiritual or material? The Ashir Prabhu. You are there?
Yes. If it is under the instruction or the guidance of the
Why to make it so complicated? It is consciousness.
consciousness.
It is the basis of consciousness. And this is where we are seriously lacking. Even though physically we may be engaging, we are engaging, no doubt. But where we are lacking is the consciousness is not becoming purified. This is the area where we have to really work. I'm speaking, I'm also struggling. Don't think that I have made much progress. No, the same position is there. Maybe even fallen. But we have to really open our heart and pray to Krishna that please help. আমার জীবন আধা কামের নাহি কখুনের লেশ. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is giving us this bhajan. Gopinath Mama Nivedana Shuno. We're not crying out. Every day, try to open the heart, connect, pray, beg. Gradually, when this desire will become strong, sincere, and Krishna will start reciprocating. And how to make it sincere? By the practice of hearing and sharing. Thank you very much. Yeah. So Srimad Bhagavatam gives us abject clarity, what we should do and what we should not do. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, all glories to the assembled devotees. Prabhu, Ravindra Prabhu, we have less time. Time will just fly by. You please give everyone the invitation for the Yatra of Vrindavan. Because those others who want to come, fine. Otherwise, what I will do, I'll vacate the rooms. I will not hold it. Other devotees who are volunteering to come, why should I hold it and, spoil? So those who will confirm, they may come. Others we don't require, then we may, release the rooms.
Yes, Prabhuji, I will do it today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Do it tomorrow. Don't remain awake till night.